headed to the store real quick, but I just wanted to just go over something with y'all. So back a while ago, about a couple weeks ago, I said I was gonna start doing follow-ups on shows, and I started. Kind of got away from it, so I'm back to it. This is just a follow-up on Brittany Griner. This is something that just popped up. She just went into court and she pled guilty to the charge of, having a negligible amount of THC cartridges in her luggage. And so she pled guilty to it. There hasn't been any sentencing. She's been there for over 100 and some days already. A little over half a year, maybe, I guess, 6 months, close to it. And, a few months back, when it first popped off, I made the statement that, that Russia is in this battle with Ukraine. They're going to try to use this as a political leverage against the United States. And, some people agree with me, some people disagree with me. Fast forward, here we are. And being that we, as the United States, have supported Ukraine with money, with weaponry, and other things that they needed in order to defend their country against Russia. So now we're having all of these issues with trying to get Brittany Griner from over there. Y'all excuse me for a second. I'm about to go in the store real quick. But that's where we are right now. So she's being used as a political pawn because of what we did to help Ukraine.
Can I get a cigarette today?
Hello. Let me get a pack of raw papers.
Short or long?
Long. And another pack of the 4K the watermelon.
Which one now?
Yeah, that's good.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, the 355 card?
Yeah. Get this thing out.
You have a receipt? You need your receipt?
No, I'm good. Thank you. So, yeah. Now they got her over here and they trying to make an example of her, use her as a political pawn. I don't know what kind of deal they would try to strike with us. They're talking about trading her for a spy that we have in custody over here. Is that really an even trade, though? I mean, if we're looking at it like a trade deal, in my mind, that's a crazy concept that we're going to trade somebody who has come over here to really try to do damage to our country and gain information and intel to go back so that they can build a plan or something against us or whatever, versus somebody who had 2 cartridges of THC because they like to get high and they wanted to get high in your country. I don't think that's an even trade. I don't think that's a fair deal at all. But, this is what's on the table allegedly at this time. And so now our country has to make a decision on whether they're going to make a deal with the terrorists, which they say that they'll never do. That's something that America loves to say. We'll never deal with terrorists or make a deal with a terrorist. So we have to see how the Biden administration is going to deal with this. Now, everybody says that they should do this and they should do that, but we know there's only so much that he can do, especially being who he is. The Democratic Party has never been intimidating in that sense. They would definitely lay down against Vladimir Putin. Now, I definitely agree with the conservatives on the fact that Donald Trump would be a little bit more assertive in saying something, but he definitely wouldn't have pushed the issue with Putin either because he's a big admirer of how Putin handles things, and he often patterned many of his actions kind of like Putin. And so he would be a major hypocrite to thereby go against the thing that he admires about the man to try to help out somebody who clearly broke the law. And so to expect this from Joe Biden would be just as asinine. That would be just as fruitless to think that he would be assertive in going over there getting this young lady. But this is where she is right now. She pled guilty. I mean, there's no other thing. There's nothing else she could have played. But now we're feeling like, oh, well, America's got to do something. What America got to do? What does America have to do? Whenever people come over here and they commit crimes in America and we lock them up over here, what do we expect their country to do? What do they expect their country to do on their behalf? Regardless of what your occupation is, regardless of who you have, loved ones you have left over here, none of that matters. What it boils down to is, did you break the law or did you not? You did? Okay, well now you got to go through these people process. Her timing was poor. It was very poor timing for this type of thing to happen. And whether she did not know it was in her bag or whatever, all of that aside, just poor timing for something like that to happen. Because here we are, and she's being used as a political pawn by Russia, because now it's not like it was when Russia first went into it against Ukraine. No, they went in and they was confident. They had a whole bunch of arrogance, whole lot of air in their chest running up in Ukraine. Then Ukraine started hitting them back. Ukraine started taking out some of their bombers. Ukraine started to defend themselves well, because they were supplied with stuff from us and Germany and other countries that decided that they had a vested interest in what happened in this battle. And so now, not only do we have Brittany Griner, but we also have an American Marine over there, or a few Marines, who's still being held. We still have other Americans who are being held around the world in different countries. But there's nothing being said about those things. And there's not really anything to be done, because we have this sense of entitlement when we go around to other places and feel like we can exercise the so-called freedoms that we have in America in these other lands. I was telling somebody one day, it was funny, well, not funny, haha, but funny, weird, funny, crazy, how whenever we deployed, we went over to these people's country and we were in their nation and we were treating them like they were foreigners. I ain't saying all soldiers did it, I'm not saying, and I'm not saying it was all soldiers. It was a lot of U.S. contractors as well. But a lot of people carried that mentality like the people who lived in that land were foreigners, and we were the rulers over this land, the same way the American military does in any place that they go. They colonize that area. They set up their base and they begin to colonize through that base. That's what America does. And so the attitude that we had when we was over there, it's like, y'all are invading our land and we taking control of the invasion. That's the mindset that we had. That's the mentality that we played it. And so when I stepped back and I thought about that, I was like, man, just imagine if somebody came to the United States and they took over the United States. It's a little dark in here. Let me turn on the light. And they came to the United States and they treated us like we were not the citizens of the United States. They treated us like we was from a foreign land, like we didn't have any rights, like we couldn't do anything to protect ourselves against their overtaking. What would you as an American do? What would you as an American feel would be the right thing for us to do in that situation, that scenario? What type of militias would you start to organize and get together to fight against these people who came to your country? Let me say that again because my hand was over the mic. What type of militias and groups would you organize with in order to come in and fight against these people who came into your land to try to take over your government and take over your way of life and your culture and implement their own? What would you do? Somebody came to America and did that. So these are the types of situations that we're looking at, and this is the mentality that we carry as Americans whenever we go to other places around the world, and people don't appreciate that. The same way you wouldn't appreciate somebody coming here trying to treat us beneath what we are. They don't appreciate it when you come to their land acting as though they don't live there, that their generations haven't toiled there. So just keep this in mind whenever we travel, Americans. Keep this in mind. This everywhere that you go to does not abide by the rules of America. America's laws and the Constitution don't even get full respect within the United States. So what makes you think these policies would carry across the globe with any type of respect? Just think. I've been telling everybody lately, think. Think before you really think. Stop and think. Please. And if you can't think, then ask somebody else for their suggestion. Ask them for their advice. But quit going out here into this world with this blinders over your eyes that America is giving you to make you think that everything is just sugar and spice and everything nice. It's absolutely not. I know that was kind of corny, but it is what it is. I said it. Yeah, I said it. But that's all I want to say. I just want to do that follow up on Brittany Griner. We're still praying for you to get home, sister. We know that you will, and you will take this and hopefully use this opportunity as a teaching moment in life and to make you a better person who makes better decisions. America, quit putting everything on Joe Biden. Every little thing that happened, you want to blame Joe Biden for it. That's absolutely unfair. We didn't do that to Donald Trump. We only applied to him what was actually his fault. It was just that he lied about so many things. He made his people seem like everybody's just lying on me all the time. No, there were some exaggerations and some lies made up about Donald Trump, some mischaracterizations too. But he had so many consistent lies and so many consistent flaws within his character and his actions that there was more than enough to cover people's beliefs of him being inadequate and incompetent as a leader of this country. But that's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother subject. Leave Joe alone. Joe don't need to do nothing else. Joe, let them people run the course of their system over there, and we run the course of ours over here. Everybody want to talk about somebody being crooked and dirty. What system is more crooked and dirty than the U.S. system? Let's not play this game like we on some high road as far as justice goes, because we're having an internal battle over justice every single day. Please get off your little American high horse, because we have no sense of justice either. No more than Putin, no more than Russia, no more than any other country that we always try to criticize about their judicial system. So, Brittany, like I said, we praying for you. If God is on your side, then he's going to see you through this. This is not bigger than God. Russia's and Putin is not bigger than God. Just keep that in mind. You, your wife, and your family, and everything gonna work out in his timing and according to his will. But learn from this. That's all I say. This is your boy D Mac, man. Y'all know what I say. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.